Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Sagittarius for the middle of June. So this is your mid-June bonus reading. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scams. But let's go ahead and get in here for you, Sagittarius. Now I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. There's also a link out to my Instagram in the description below if you'd like to give me a follow there. And you can find all of the decks that I use in my readings in the description as well. Let's go and take 3 of these cards to clarify as we go along. Make sure we're all set up and in view here. All right. And we'll just get right into it here for you. Oh yeah, let's also take 3 of these Kipper cards as well. So I think that looks just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom, you have the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius. This is a welcome sign for you as a Sagittarius person. Reason being is you are ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius. And if you are a Sagittarius rising, that means that your natal chart is ruled by Jupiter. And the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. Now, you do not have to be a Sagittarius rising. I was just throwing that out there for those who are watching. But this is the sign of Jupiter, right? Jupiter is the planet of luck, expansion, growth, opportunity, jovial energy. And, you know, the Wheel of Fortune can bring about a kind of change in your destiny. This is a major card of your destiny. It does say that the wheel of your destiny has sort of spun in your direction. And generally, your favorability within the universe is increased when you get the Wheel of Fortune. And so with that, you can expect a change to happen. Now, this is typically a good change when you get the Wheel of Fortune. The thing is, change also requires action, okay? And so when you get the Wheel of Fortune, it doesn't mean that like things are going to magically start, things are going to magically start falling into place. The Wheel of Fortune does ask that you take action given that your situation may be a little bit more favorable than it was previously. You have to meet the universe halfway when you're on the path of your destiny. That's what the Wheel of Fortune asks you to take a look at. And so let's see what this destiny might be about here, Sagittarius. Now, you do have in your current situation, you have the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is a really nice card of sort of transitioning forward, sailing away from what was maybe previously challenging here, and you do have a challenge in the past, and instead sailing towards what is kind of more in alignment for you in the future. The 6 of Swords person here is really thinking about the higher timeline that is available to them as they get in this boat and they move to a new direction. And so this is about a transition. Okay, so you have change, you have transition. One thing I know for sure here, Sagittarius, is there's a whole lot of change here on the future for you, or in the future for you based on this reading. You're going through changes, you're going through transitions, you're going through transformations. And, those are some of the major keywords that I'm seeing here on this reading. I think, if I'm really looking at this, for some of you, this could be probably work or financial related. It's possible here as well that there is relationship stuff with the 4 of Wands, but I think it's probably less about relationships for many of you, and I think it's probably more about something to do with your life just generally, and more of like more along the lines of work life, finance life, something like that here. In the problem position, you have the 4 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords is really healing from heartbreak. You can see the 3 of Swords card on the banner above this person. They're really thinking about how it's time for them to take a moment to heal and rest and do the healing work for themselves, as they maybe in the past have gone through what may have been a heartbreaking situation in their life. Of course, that can be about, breakups. It can be about divorce, separation, but it can also just be anything that breaks your heart, okay? And so that can be recognizing that, you know what, maybe it's time for me to move on from my job, or you know what, maybe this friendship that I have is no longer in alignment with me. Those sorts of things can be heartbreaking, or maybe a challenge with family members. Something like that here certainly could be implied with the Four of Swords, but the thing is, you're healing from that, okay? You're healing from that. It is in the problem position, and so it's almost like for some of you here, you may feel like you have not fully healed from something yet. And I do feel like maybe that is being kind of showing up here as it is in the problem position. The thing is, you know what I just heard as I was talking about that? I heard the phrase, rip off the Band-Aid. So it's almost like, and the reason I'm saying that is because you have this death card with the Wheel of Fortune. That's the winds of change. I think some of you are going to rip off the Band-Aid and just kind of plunge into healing. And I think some of you are going to recognize that it's like time to move on from something. In the past, you have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is a conflict, competition. It's a struggle. You can see that these 5 people here are kind of battling on the card. Whoever wins the Five of Wands gets the victory of the Six of Wands. And so it is interesting here. There's definitely been a conflict with somebody in the past here. There also what could, and this might be Scorpio energy, but they could really be any sign. It's just something that came into my mind. But try not to get hung up on the signs. But the thing about the Five of Wands is it can also say that maybe some of you are internally conflicted as well. And, you know, this could be around you making a transition or a change. This could be around you resisting change as well. And it's possible that there's been just some conflicting thoughts, conflicting feelings for some of you about this new direction or this change here, this transition that's coming forward with the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Swords, and this very important death card, which we will talk about more as we go along. In the future, you have the Four of Wands. Really love to see this in this reading for you. Reason being is, take a look here. So if we're taking a look at this Six of Swords, this boat is sailing, just this direction of the illustration here is sailing towards the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is in the future. And so your future is met with stability, okay? The future is stable for you here with the Four of Swords and the Four of Wands. Fours represent stability. Okay, you have a challenge with the Four of Swords showing up in the problem position around your stability, but in the future that will change. Four of Wands, foundations and achievements in one's life. It's also a new start. Reason being is the Four of Wands can be a card of marriage, and of course when you get married, that is a new start, right, in one's life. But it doesn't have to be about marriage. This, I think, for you is about something that was maybe a little bit unstable here, as we see this Five of Wands in the past now becoming stable in the future. In your conscious awareness on your mind or in your thoughts here, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So this person here is working extremely hard. You can see that they're working away late at night. They're wrapping up their latest creation. There are other creations here hanging up on the ceiling above them. And, you know, this is somebody who's proud of their work. This is somebody who is making progress. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles says that there's good movement forward in your work life or good movement forward in general. More importantly, the Eight of Pentacles is the major card of having a skill, talent, gift, or ability in the tarot, okay? Person's extremely talented at what they do. And you can see that they offer a lot. They bring a lot to the table. So this says, I think some of you here trusting your talents at this time as you go through these changes. There's this one oracle card. I think I'm forgetting what deck it is in, maybe the Angels and Ancestors deck, I'm forgetting. But there's this oracle card that's coming into my mind as I'm looking at this. It says, the oracle card says, trust your talents in changing times. Trust your talents in changing times. And I think some of you are doing that, okay? Some of you are absolutely doing this at this time. Here with this Eight of Pentacles on your mind and these changes, which let's get to this Death card, which I've been thinking about this entire reading, is just incredible here because you have this in the subconscious or the hidden, what you can't see. Surprise. The Death card here, this is not about death and dying, okay? This is scorpionic energy, okay? This is you taking something that, for example, might have been small and making it big, i.e. transforming something. The Death card is a major transformation in one's life. It is a major change. And you have 2 cards of major change with the Wheel of Fortune, the Death card, and you have a major card of transition here with the 6 of Swords in your current situation. Okay, so some of you here, you're doing some type of soul work. Okay, you're doing some type of soul-centered, like deep healing work here. And, some of you may not even realize it, but you certainly are. Okay, you certainly are doing some type of deep soul work here, something that's transformative in your life. And this is making way for a new start here with the 4 of Wands in the future. In the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you do have this Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is a major energy of potentially good news in your life. This also says that prospects in your life generally are looking pretty good. When you get the Page of Pentacles, it says that there are offers, there are opportunities, there are good situations on the horizon for you. And this does, this is somebody who kind of takes a hardworking approach, or even just a studious approach to their life, maybe an academic approach, but they work very hard to get the offers. Page of Pentacles represents offers, or pages represent offers, news, opportunities. This one in particular is about good prospects, or prospects increasing in one's life, particularly because you have the Wheel of Fortune here as well. Again, favorability increased. That showing up in a big way here for you. You have this 9 of Cups energy in the external influence. So the external influence could be somebody else's energy. This could also be something happening outside of you, just generally. And it's very good because you have the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups represents the fulfillment of a wish. You can see that this person here is holding up their cup. Their cup is presumably full. The other cups here on the bar are full as well. This person is emotionally content. They're happy, they're celebratory, they're joyous. Things are going very well for them. This is an idyllic moment in their life. And again, this is a major fulfillment of a wish. And so I like to see this in the outcome because you don't really have an influence over not the outcome. I like to see this in the external influence because this is not something that you can control. And this is just happening to you, which to me feels like there's some type of wish coming in here for you. And this is probably around this idea that you have all of these changes here, Sagittarius, with the Wheel of Fortune, the Death card, the 6 of Swords. This is probably coming around this idea of you making this major transformation in your life, getting a wish through that. Now, in the hopes and fears, you have the 3 of Cups. I wonder if some of you, this is interesting because the 3 of Cups is a group situation. It's potentially your social circle, the friend group that you have, the company that you keep, so forth and so on. You can see the 3 friends or the 3 sisters here dancing on the cups. And so on one hand, I wonder if some of you are maybe looking to move out of isolation. That wasn't really something that was coming in this reading for me very often. But it's coming in the fear. It could also be a hope as well, because it's the hopes and fears. And so for some of you, you're hoping that these cups that you have, and you're hoping that your cups start overflowing, which means you're hoping for increased happiness. Some of you are maybe hoping to find a tribe, like a soul tribe or a soul family, something like that here, particularly if you've been isolated. Let's get, I'll be very interested to see how these 3 cards clarify the last 2 cards. Because if I'm being real with you, the 3 of Cups in the hopes and fears, and now the 5 of Pentacles in the outcome, it doesn't really fit for me in this reading. 5 of Pentacles is something about scarcity. Okay, I very rarely see the 5 of Pentacles show up as a financial loss. I feel it more about mindset. Okay, the 5 of Pentacles is more about your mindset. And I think that this is going to be very important that you keep an optimistic approach, Sagittarius. You're an eternal optimist, Sagittarius. And for you, I think it's going to be very important to keep a sort of positive mindset and optimistic outlook here, especially as you have the Wheel of Fortune, which Jupiter is about optimism. It's like for some of you here, try not to speak loss into existence. is what I feel like saying, because I don't see a lot of loss. In fact, what I see is change, and what I see is good change for you. And so let's get clarities here on these last two cards. So yeah, okay, so these three clarifiers, you have the 10 of Wands, you have the 10 of Pentacles, and you have the Justice card. Okay, so amazing. This is a little bit more in alignment with what I feel like in this reading. Double tens, pretty incredible. Tens in tarot represent completions, represent good things, or cycles coming to a close here. 10 of Wands says that, yes, there's a burden that you're carrying here, but it says that you have all the tools to carry the burden, and you have successfully crossed the finish line. 10 of Pentacles is like, you can see the turtle here, slow and steady wins the race. 10 of Pentacles is, of course, the last card in the Pentacle suit, which means you've gone through an entire journey to build your empire, or to build your legacy, or to create the abundance that you've been hoping for in your life. So I would say definitely the changes that you're making now are leading to something that is probably a lot more abundant for you in the future. And then you have this Justice energy as well, which is your karma. It says that the actions that you take are important, and with that, at the end of the day, you will get the outcome you deserve. So it's important that you kind of recognize how important it's important that you recognize the importance of your actions, because the Justice card says that you will get an outcome based on the actions, which is really just your karma. Okay, you also have the Judication, Marriage, and Family room. Judication is something here around justice, something here around kind of karma being played out here. It is interesting that we get the Marriage card with the Four of Wands, which is two marriage cards, and the Family room. I wonder if some of you are recognizing that, change, wow. I wonder if, I wonder if some of you are recognizing that you either want a family or that you're not ready for a family yet. I know that's vague, but I think some of you are maybe giving some conscious thought to whether or not you want a family, or maybe it's not like some of you are thinking like, okay, like it's time for me to start a family, and some of you are thinking, well, actually now I'm kind of scared to start a family. And I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, but I do think that some of you are this could be what the change is about. There could just be something along those lines coming in here. And I think there's also something here about the importance of your community, the importance of your family unit, just generally here, that I think is implied as well. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I will see you in the next reading.